the rejection model of parenting the rejection model of parenting invites the evil spirit influence into child's heart's thought. It happens to each one of us when we feel rejected for self-expression, or what's natural to the child. And how is that done? Yes, there is the evil spirit influence as much as there's the Holy Spirit and God influence in a person's life. The reasons why are, I don't know, who cares? But here we are, stuck with it. So we got to learn how to deal with the evil spirit influence. And what does that mean? The evil spirit influence seeks to destroy a child's self-worth and self-esteem. It's how it accesses itself as an establishment as a spiritual influence, but obviously must work in opposite of life, which means spiritual death. It stays alive inside the child throughout life, inside the child's state of spiritual death, as the result of having its self-worth and self-esteem continually, slowly, and carefully chipped away at, taken away, eaten away, until one day we feel alone, emptied, sad, in pain, in fear of more pain coming. It's not just fear of pain at that point, it's spiritual trauma to a child, brand newness, all that stuff, not knowing nothing except for what love mom and dad have for the child, and when that doesn't come, then that's spiritual trauma, emotional trauma for the child to experience. Many will remember themselves, and many won't, and think, and won't, and will think that it's the norm to reject the child instead of keeping its spiritual awareness alive in its heart's thought of self. And that's done through the acknowledgement model of parenting. What's the difference? I mean, within the parent. The difference is a centered, balanced, determined self inside the parent. And what that means is emotional balance themselves before they can balance the child emotionally through acknowledgement. Because when we grow up to be parents from that rejection model of parenting, what do we know how to do? We know how to recycle the program, the stuff that we know. What we know is a program of the knowledge base of ourselves, our accumulated truths of knowledge, plus their emotional responses. Our wisdom takes from those two things and then rebirths a brand new understanding from that the double feminine element that births life, and then our feminine elements take that life and rebirth life from life. But we need positive self-worth to be able to rebirth life from life, and when we don't, then what we're doing is projecting the spiritual content and nature of the child inside the darkness of its heart's thought of itself. That's what darkness is. It's emotional darkness that destroys self-worth and self-esteem. That is the innocent looking darkness, which for some people, they grow up and they turn as evil as that evil. It doesn't look evil as a child. It comes in and says, look, you better lie, you better not say anything, because they'll reject you and it'll hurt you and you'll be worthless. As children, we hear things like that in our ego. Our ego's mechanism, whatever the hell that is, it's access for the evil spirit's masculine element to enter and be heard by the child, speaking from what its dark feminine feeds the child. And it's not life. It's fear of life, fear of emotional truth of the inner self. And after being rejected enough times for that, we are afraid of that. We're afraid of our own self. If we were to speak and get rejected, we'd feel humiliated, embarrassed, and ridiculed. That's spiritual death to us, so we avoid that at all costs. And I know you know what I'm talking about, because we do it every day. We pass each other on the street and we can't even make eye contact. And when we do, we look away so fast. In fear of what? What do you think you're in fear of? I know what I'm in fear of. I'm afraid of rejection from you if I was to approach you. You're afraid of rejection from me and that's what we do. We reject each other. That's why we stay away from each other. But we're operating from emotional programs programmed into us through our early childhood experiences that we have right now as the adult. We're stunted emotionally, spiritually, at the point in time when the inner child, when we were young, when we said, fuck this, no more. We're stuck there emotionally. For me, it's 6 years old. That's when I said, fuck this, no more of this. Most people, it's after 5.